Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Now in today's video we are sticking with Heimdallr. Now I did briefly show you this watch on the Black Friday sale video. This is Heimdallr's Titanium Turtle Homage. And it's a very interesting watch. Now Heimdallr have gone and released a bunch of titanium versions to their watches. We know they came out with a Seamaster Titanium Homage. They've also got the Tuna in titanium, which I reviewed just before this one. They've got the Turtle, and they bought out also the Captain Willard 6105 Homage in titanium. So if you are somebody that wants to go for that material, then yeah, Heimdallr is definitely one to look on Aliexpress. Very good value for money. I was very surprised by the titanium Tuna Homage. I thought that was incredibly well built and really good looks. Now let's have a look at this SRP 777 Homage, and on wrist today, for the purpose of this video, I am wearing my Seiko Save the Ocean Manta Ray King Turtle. So with this one, let's get into price, specifications, color options, etc. and dimensions, and then let's look at this watch in a lot more detail and give you a good and thorough walk around. So let's talk specifications. As I mentioned, this is grade 3 titanium, full construction, bezel, crown and case back. You do have a flat AR coated sapphire crystal. You do have an aluminium bezel insert, a 120 click unidirectional diving bezel. The watch does run the Seiko Epson NH36 movement, which is exactly the same as NH35, just with the added day complication. Now, the water resistance on this watch is 200 meters, which is aided by a screw down crown and a screw down case back. So the price point for this watch, you are looking at around $200 if you were to visit the official Heimdallr website, which I will link within the description. If you do look around on AliExpress, the price will go down to around $170, which is approximately around £130, which is really good value for money, I have to say. You rarely get titanium watches at that price point, and especially something which is homaging a Seiko turtle, and it looks as good as this one does. The different color options that you have available, I have of course in front of me the blue version, or the Paddy Homage, where you've got a orange and very light blue bezel, which is of course aluminium. One point on this, that I have seen other versions of this, some of these bezels are coming with the orange that you see here from the 0 to 20 is actually a lot brighter, and it's closer to red. So if you do get the one which does have the red, so closer to a Pepsi combination, that orange second hand won't match. It might look a little bit off. Now the other option that you get is a black dial version, and you can get that with a black and orange bezel insert, which looks quite cool, and I like that color combo definitely. And you can also get a grey dial version with the grey and orange bezel, like you saw on the Street Tuna Homage. And in terms of dimensions on this watch, now this is very close to the Seiko Turtle, and I've said this about Seikos and I'll say it pretty much every time as well. It is a large watch, but it wears really well. Just have a look at the case and look how the bottom end of the case does taper upwards, so it gets thicker as it gets to the sides, and then the bezel is smaller than the case as well, so it doesn't wear as large as you'd think. Now the diameter of this watch is 45 millimeters, and you have a lug to lug of 47.3 millimeters, so a very good lug to lug, quite compact, and a thickness of 13 millimeters. Pretty standard, not oversized, which I think is great. Now 22 mil lug width, and the main thing, the weight, obviously because it is made of titanium, it's going to be that much lighter. You're looking at 85 grams on this FKM tropical rubber strap. Now without the strap, that means this watch case just comes in at 65 grams. Now when we look at the dial, as per usual to how Heimdallr build the watches, the dial is of exceptional quality. You do have this very deep blue sunburst dial, and the black dial version and the grey dial version, they're also sunburst, so I really love these dials that they come out with. You've also got applied hour markers, and as you can see, they have stuck to the traditional hour markers that you do find on Seiko turtles. So case in point, you can see the one here, which means you get these large circular hour markers, and you get the dual tapered batons at the 12, but behind this shape, I'd say sort of like a spade mark at the 12, and this tapered baton at the 6. You've got extensions that come off on the 12, 9 and 6, and you have a cutout for the date frame at 3 o'clock. Now the shark logo is also polished and applied, and you've got text above the 6. The chaptering that you can see here, you do have white markers, but at the 12, 3, 6 and 9 you can see that is in red. And again, going back to the colors, as you can see, the orange on that second sand matches the orange on that bezel, but you got the red markers. So I kind of wish they would have gone with everything being the same and then these little, different colors, and I think it'd match a little bit better. But with the chapter ring, the markers are kind of small, so it's not that much of a big deal. Now let's go a bit closer and look at these hour markers. Look at the circular dots. Now what's interesting about these hour markers is there is quite a fair bit of detail present here. You've got a polished frame. Not only that, you do have a blue painted background, and then you've got the loom applied on top. Now due to that, unfortunately, you do have a couple of hour markers where the loom isn't centered. So if you take a closer look, you'll see markers on this one that are affected at 7 and 8 where they're just slightly off. They're not perfectly central, and you can see they don't sit spot on. Now because they are quite large, it is quite easy to spot this, so I'll put that down to a slight bit of QC. But other than that, the other markers are fine. Traditional SKX/turtle style hands. You've got the lollipop at the end of the second hand, and they've got this texture which you can see. It looks to be like a speed blasted texture or a sand blasted texture. It looks quite rough and grainy, so I don't know if that was done on purpose to give this watch a rougher look. I would have preferred, the standard polished or even brushed hands. I think this grainy texture is quite thick. At arm's length you can't really tell, but looking close at this watch, I don't feel it matches it, but I could be wrong. Again, that's a pure subjective observation. Now let's have a look and listen at this bezel. And as I showed you guys on the titanium tuner, that titanium and bezel rotations, they don't always go hand in hand. But let's check this one out. So first off, it lines up really well. And the rotation is actually very smooth for a titanium watch, much better than the one that is present on the tuner. It rotates really nicely. You can hear it, quite audible, quite tactile, positive clicks, no hot spots as well, which is a bonus. So either I think they've maybe gone with a different mechanism on this bezel, but it seems to work really well. So that is a positive. The bezel construction, wow, that is done really well, and that adds to the overall feel of the bezel because that grip is really, really solid. As you can see, it is a two-step style design, and just looking at these fine little details, you'll see all these little squares are all beveled as well. So that is in great detail on something which is just so small, and that's really well finished, really well made, and the grip is perfect on this, spot on. And this is why I think they changed the grip slightly on the King Turtle. This one just adds a lot more grip than the previous models. So let's check out the loom on this watch. Heimdallr are known for really good loom, so let's see how this one performs. So with regards to the loom, you can see the loom pip is C3 in green, and you can see the dial and hands are BGW9. I don't know how you guys feel about the color mismatch. I don't mind it. I think the green, it does distinguish itself away from everything else, but the loom applied on here is, as per usual, really good. No patchiness, quite bright as well, and I've not used any concentrated UV light, just from the LEDs in this room, and it's doing a really good job. So I'm very pleased with that. All the markers are very clear, easily distinguishable. You can see the lollipop on the second hand as well, and everything has been illuminated really well. Moving on over to the case, really well made case, very nicely finished, clean lines around there, and being titanium, you do have one type of finish, so all of it is brushed, very smoothly done, no sharp edges, and very soft. And in general, the Seiko Turtle is such an iconic diver, really iconic cushion style case, very, very comfortable. Some people say that the most comfortable watch they've worn, so that, and I can believe that. It just seems to sit on wrist so well. And what you'll also notice when you look at the crown, how that slots into the case subset. So you've got these integrated crown guards, and I really like how the Turtle does accommodate that. So let's check the crown out. Good grip on there. Now the crown tube is, I believe, stainless steel, and that's to ensure that the threads stay strong enough. And similar to bronze watches, the crown tubes are always stainless steel to prevent patina developing and allow this watch to function as it should. Screws down fine, there's no issue. Pretty smooth threads. Already showed you guys the case back, and here we go with Heimdallr stamping 100% titanium, just in case you thought there was something else in there, but no, the stamp of approval. Really nice details on there, the brushed shark logo with this sandblast effect, screw down case back. So yeah, standard from Heimdallr, but it looks good and it works. So the strap they've gone for this tropical style strap. I'm a big fan of these straps, FKM rubber, very soft, and as I pointed out in the tuna video, look at this buckle, very well done, well machined, and it is removable. You just stick a spring bar removal tool in there and you can take that out and put it on a different strap if you like. Really nicely made. Now, being titanium, as I said, bracelets are going to be difficult for this, so your best friend on these is going to be other rubber style straps, maybe a diver style strap, and maybe some leather straps. And I will do a couple of strap changes for you guys to let you know. Let's get this on wrist and let's have a look. So here we have the Titanium Turtle Homage on my 6.5 inch wrist. It fits so nice on the wrist. Just look at that profile. That cushion case is incredible. Very light. Lug to lug is spot on. The diameter, as it's flattened out, it doesn't even make a difference in all honesty. There's no overhang on the wrist, and I think just looking at that side profile there, just look at that beautiful shape on that case. Bezel, everything's good. So this is on the tropical strap, but I'll show you two different options. So I do have this another rubber style strap. I've had this strap for a long time. I've had it on different watches, but a few people have made some comments about these. They seem to like them, so I'll put this on here, see how that looks. And one of my personal favorites, that the only cloth strap that I'll wear, is this paratrooper style one. Not everyone likes it, you know. Some people say it makes it look a bit like a toy, but yeah, there's a lot of people that did like it. Gives it a slightly different look. Very soft. If you want to see the strap, I will try and link it in Aliexpress. So let's try this one. And here we have the watch on this blue and orange paratrooper strap. This is a very comfortable strap, and I like this over NATOs all day. It does really grab onto the wrist. Breathable as well. I think that is fairly decent on the watch. So in summary, what do I think? I think it's another really well made watch from Heimdallr. Of course, they've had a couple of years of experience making these tuna watches, turtle homages. You know, they've got bronze versions in them, so you know, it's good that they've gone towards the titanium at $180. I think again it is a good price, and I think the build quality is present on this one. It is quite nice, really well built. Like the bezel rotation, dial construction is good, the loom is excellent, and overall is a solid watch. The fact that it's titanium as well, good bonus, and the price as well. The only thing which I'm not entirely sold on is the texture on the hands, and that's me being quite picky. Yes, of course, it is entirely subjective. I just feel, you know, the hands should have been polished or maybe brushed, but I just think that's just a bit too grainy for my liking. And the other thing, as I mentioned, was just the color variations between these. And the other thing which I noticed was just that QC slight issue on the loom. You know, none of them deal breakers, just things to watch out for. So that's it for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do want to make a purchase, please use the affiliate links that are provided in the description. That is always appreciated by myself. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.